The Green Bay Packers are like my imaginary friends and I when we would have a sleepover and I would yell out to my mom that we needed snacks! Grossi Posse Packer Nation! Welcome to an episode of Packast, the podcast where you don't have to be a Packers fan, but it sure does help. I'm your host, Tom. Someone complained in the subreddit the other day when I just said my name, and there was nothing in the middle. And they said, Tom, what the F you doing, man? That's the best part of my day. How could you leave me hanging? I ain't here just to watch some dude. I'm here to watch Tom insert long intro. Grossi. And today we are going to be taking a look at a guy that the Packers Nation has been courting for quite some time, and that is Damon Snacks Harrison. Before we get to that, I gotta do a shout out and thank you to some brand new patrons over at patreon.com/Tom Grossi Comedy. First, we got Tom. I swear it's not me just trying to make it look like I have fans. Then we have Hunter S. Sorry, vegan. Randall. Then we got Stephanie Much, Frank J. Roth Jr., and Fur-Touristic. The furries have arrived on the channel. But thank you all very much for your support. It is much appreciated. Now, Snacks. Been in the league since 2012, was an undrafted free agent. And when the New York Jets came a-calling, he said, let's get to work. Had 4 years with the Jets, played 53 games, had 2 passes defended, 1 forced fumble, 105 solo tackles, 12 of them for a loss, 7 QB hits, and 1.5 sacks. He then went across the pond, and by pond, I mean it's the same stadium because he just signed with the Giants. And he stayed with them for about 3.5 years, in which he played 39 games, had an interception, 4 passes defended, 2 forced fumbles, 4 sacks, 106 solo tackles, 17 for a loss, and 8 QB hits. Then what happened in 2018 is he was traded to the Lions, much to his chagrin. And I'm not just saying that because it's the Lions. No, there's articles out there that talks about he did not want to go to Detroit at all. He said that Bob Quinn was calling him and he would just ignore it and not pick up the phone for hours. And in 2018, he had the best run-stop percentage in the entire league. In 2019 with the Lions, though, he had a career-low 49 tackles, also was plagued with a bit of injuries as well, and they wound up mutually agreeing to separate, like my parents. He came out and said that he wasn't really mentally prepared. He didn't want to be in Detroit in 2019. He was trying to advocate for a trade. I mean, he didn't do too bad with the Lions. I mean, he had played 25 games total, 4 passes defended, 1 forced fumble, 5.5 sacks, 29 solo tackles, and 8 tackles for a loss in that 1.5 span. So, right now, he is currently a free agent. He said that he was toying with retirement, but that he would pick up the phone and get to work if the right team called him. He's going to be turning 32 this November, so he is not going to be a permanent solution on that defensive line. But as we talked about many times on this show, we do need some help there. So right now, obviously, we have Kenny Clark sitting there at nose tackle, who's going to get paid a crap ton of money. Besides Kenny Clark, we also have Montravius Adams, Gerald Willis from Miami, who we just got. We also got some undrafted free agents at the spot. Then over at defensive end, we have Dean Lowry, we have Jonathan Garvin, we have Jamal Davis, we have Craig Roberts. We just picked up Trayvon Hester, which we did a video on, the guy for the double doink. And on the other side, we have Tyler Lancaster, Kiki, Do You Love Me, and James Looney. So looking at this, we obviously gave Dean Lowry a nice bonus and extension, which didn't really pan out too well. And I equate the defensive line to kind of our wide receiver problems, and how Goody has kind of gone and addressed this issue is basically like, hey, we need the guys that we drafted to step up. A lot of people are expecting big things from Kiki, which would be great. And then Montravius Adams, we've been waiting for a little bit longer. But going into the draft, one of the things that we needed to address was obviously the run defense. If you need any explanation as to why, just turn on like 5 minutes of the NFC Championship game from this past season. And I don't know if we've done that. We obviously got Kamal Martin. We got him Christian Kirksey, who could help at inside linebacker. But I think we're going to need some more help on the line. Or one of these guys, like Kiki, is going to have to kind of play to his full potential here. So right now, the Packers are kind of in a bit of a spot. We really don't have the cap room to pick up anybody, but Snacks, I don't think he's going to cost a whole lot. Obviously, he's not going to cost any draft capital because he's a free agent. And so if he's willing to take a short-term deal, even if it's a year, I mean, I'd go for it. The problem is you're going to have to make some cuts elsewhere. And the other question is, which one of these guys would you then potentially give up? Is it a Montravius Adams? Is it a James Looney? You know, that's the other issue as well. So for me, I would say, yes, if you can get him for a cheap contract, again, you're going to have to play some cap games. Go for it. In reality, do I think we're going to go out and get him? I don't. With the signing of Trayvon Hester, I think that kind of put the nail in that coffin a little bit. You never know because we still got a lot of offseason, but yeah, it seems like we're going to just roll with what we have. And hopefully the guys that we have drafted within the past few years are finally going to make an impact in this game. Kiki should be getting more playing time this year. But let me know what you think down in the comments below. Should the Packers be going out and free agents signing guys like Snacks, or should they focus on a wide receiver? Or are we just going to roll with it and see what happens? Let me know what you think. You can always find me at TomGrossiComedy.com or at TomGrossiComedy on all social media. See down below. Check out Packast on SoundCloud, iTunes, Google Play Music, Spotify, and of course YouTube. And a big shout and thank you to all the patrons over at patreon.com/TomGrossiComedy. But thank you so much for watching. I'm Tom Grossi. And as always, go Pack Go.